Yeah, we got this thing into the shop here. It actually rolls pretty nice. Now comes the fun part. We got to wedge this engine in here somehow. It should just drop right in. The only tricky part probably is going to be lining that up, the transmission up with the engine by myself. That might be kind of a pain, but good news, once I do, I get my crowbar back after a decade, so nice. I think I should have all my goodies here in the trunk. Got bolts and random shields and stuff. I'm not really sure where they go, but we'll figure it out. Shouldn't need that. Got my hubcaps. I think we're ready to rock and roll, so I think what I'll do is probably get this engine so it's tilted back a little bit, and I'll see if I can drop it in with the hood on. I think we took the hood off to take it out, but I may have been using this straight up and down winch rather than the cherry picker, so I guess we'll get her ready and see if we can just dump her in there. Why is it always harder to put them in than it is to take them out? But I got her in anyway, and with anything, the hardest part was the last 10%. Getting that engine and transmission to mate together was kind of a pain, a lot of wiggling and up and down, and yeah, a lot of work. But I got it. Now I can go ahead and kind of pick the engine up and tweak it a little bit and get that motor mount on the stud down there, and then put the motor mount back on this side. I took it off because it was getting in the way, so I can put that back on and bolt it down and get rid of the stupid engine stand. Hard to get under the car when there's a cherry picker in the way, but yeah, pretty soon she'll be running again. Alright, I got the engine in and everything's kind of rigged up. Should be enough to see if it'll start. Obviously the radiator's not in and coolant or anything like that, but I just want to see if it pops off, and I got a little gas can there to catch any old gas if there is any in it. I dumped some fuel down the carburetor, and it looks like the carburetor's leaking, of course, but that's fine. Let's just hop in and crank it over and see if it's going to fire for us. Give her a little prime because we got no choke. Yeah, looks like we might have to do some troubleshooting. Alright, I think I got it. Seems silly, but I had the wrong key in the ignition, so we'll give this a try. See if it'll fire. Alright, didn't seem to have any power to the coil, so I'm just going to hot wire it right to the battery, and we're going to see what we're going to get. Still nothing. Maybe a little carb spray. That always works. I have any carb spray. Where's my carb spray? There we go, found some carb spray. See if we can make some magic happen here. No magic. You think I got a pop or something? Yeah, well, I'm no mechanic, but I'm pretty sure I shouldn't be able to do that. Yeah. I think it's a good time for lunch. What do you think? Yeah, lunch sounds good. Well, there's your problem. There's no gear on there. That's why she just spins. Luckily, the gear's in there. All sorts of little plastic bits I'm going to have to try to dig out. That's alright though. I got another distributor, and this I'm almost 100% is my fault. When I was putting the engine in, the chain slipped and it kind of came this way, and I thought it hit the other oil filter that was on there, and I thought it was okay, but it must have banged into the distributor there and busted that gear up. So I'm going to see if I can fish most of that out and then pull the distributor off the other car and then try to time this thing and make it run. Alright, I think I got the majority of that gear out of there, and I went ahead and I pulled the distributor out of the other one, and I should be able to just slide that in and wire it up, and it ought to work. One thing I'll have to do is make a little chunk of brake line there for the vacuum advance. You can see this one has a nipple, so I'm going to have to make a little nipple out of brake line for that. Slide that on, and then see if I can get it timed, or close enough to it at least to fire. Yeah, hopefully that'll work. Alright, I got the distributor back in and I got it kind of eyeball timed. I might be a tooth off, I don't know. Guess we'll find out. I threw some gas at it. Let's see what it does. It does run pretty nice. I just gotta turn that fucker one way or the other. Alright, well, it will run. I'll have to hook up everything so I can run it long enough to actually adjust the timing, but I think we're pretty close. Well, I think I got it pretty well buttoned up so that I can kind of run it a bit. I don't have the voltage regulator for the alternator, so got it on the charger for now. That's on its way. I filled her up with coolant. Only had one little leak here. Tighten that clamp. We're good to go. I'm going to run it off the old gas in the tank, which is like 10 years old, so it's probably not going to run right. And I've still got to adjust the timing, but it's close enough now. I think we can fire it up and get some heat into it and see how it does, see if this radiator or anything springs any more leaks while it's running. And I think I'm just going to let it kind of idle. Carburetor did stop spewing gas, so that's a good thing. I think we can run that as is, so let's fire it up, let it run a while. Doesn't seem to like that old gas. I wonder why. Yeah, we'll make her go. Doesn't help that I also don't have a choke. Come on, stay close. starter sounds great. Gotta find a way to hold that close so it'll actually run. Full gas, I love it. Dumped a little fresh gas into it. See if that'll help. Really don't like that old gas. Alright, I think if I get some heat into it and let it run a while, it'll actually run on that old putrid garbage. I just gotta manually hold the choke because I don't have the thermostat for it, so let's keep going. Well, I got her warmed up and running. Should be plenty warm, but it's just not enough to keep it going without holding the choke. So I'm going to pump all that old gas out of there. I don't know how much is in it, but get that pumped out and put some fresh stuff in, and hopefully it'll run a little better. It does fine when I run it off the bottle there, so I imagine I get this old crap out, it'll do fine. Then I'll have to find a spot to dump all that. Maybe in the truck? Yeah, truck will take it. Well, there we go. I had to dump out about 10 gallons of bad gas. Then I filled her up with 10 fresh gallons of some high-octane petroline, and had to dink with the carburetor a little bit. I replaced the needle and seat there because it was overflowing the carb. Tweaked on the distributor a little bit by hand, and it's running on its own now. So got half a mind to take the crap off the car here and open the door and see if it'll move and if the brakes work. Not going to go far, just want to see if it'll move and if the brakes work. I added some fluid to it, so hopefully it'll stop. I don't know, we'll find out. Well, it moved and the brakes worked fine. That's a good sign. think I have to do some more tweaking to it though. The engine's kind of shaking a bit. Well, I went ahead and went through the carburetor again, cleaned it all out, sprayed everything through, and it looked clean, but apparently there was something in there, because after I sprayed it, now it seems to be working okay. I went ahead and I fixed that little fuel leak there, threw the air cleaner on, got my battery super secure there. I think we can take it down the driveway. It's going to be a while before I can take it down the road. Need to do a few other things, but I think we can give her a try and see if it'll go at least down the driveway. If that'll close. Oh yeah. We won't close it all the way. I'll be opening that soon, I'm sure. Alright. Purrs like a kitten. Sure, I'll have to time it. I haven't done that, but my ear worked pretty well, I think. Oh yeah, stops pretty good actually. Gonna have to clean the windshield off, I think, before I drive it too far. Oh yeah, she's slippery. A little bit slushy, but not too bad. Kind of a crap day to be driving this thing, but whatever. I still don't have any dash lights here. I don't know what the deal is with that. I'll have to figure that out, but hey, first time down the driveway in a decade. Not too shabby.